Daniel prophesied three major Israeli wars in modern day times. These wars have already occurred, and in our generation, the Arab-Israeli War, the Six-Day War, and the Battle of Yom Kippur. The first war occurred in 1948. Ben-Gurion was the first modern-day king of the South. He was the founding father of modern-day Israel and prime minister during this Arab-Israeli war. The northern king in this conflict was King Abdullah I of Jordan, who led multiple Arab nations. Amazingly, this was the first war that went exactly as foretold by Daniel way back in 437 BC. After this first Arab-Israeli war, Daniel accurately predicted that the sons or grandsons of this modern-day northern king would assemble a great Arab army, even larger than the one before. These sons were to lead an attack that would carry the battle all the way into the heartland of Israel. King Hussein was the second king of the north, and he just happened to be the grandson of King Abdullah I, the prior northern king, just like Daniel predicted. And also, King Hussein just happened to be pivotal in this military buildup. He united the Arab world. He formed the Mutual Defense Treaty with Jordan, Egypt, and Syria. So he was the one who energized the Arabs to fight their second war against Israel. Without him, the war would never have taken place. The Six-Day War of 1967 was the second modern-day war involving northern and southern kings. Moshe Dayan, Israel's defense minister, played the role as king of the south. So here again, Daniel predicted another Israeli victory some 2,400 years before it actually happened. And again, Israel won against overwhelming odds. Winning this war was a really big deal. Israel's landmass tripled in size. Israel gained control of the most holy sites. The Orthodox Jews were elated. Israel celebrated like no other time in modern Jewish history. Israel was the center of Jewish pride worldwide. Daniel properly predicted that pride would dominate. He specifically said the southern leader who won this war would be filled with great pride and slaughter many thousands. After winning the Six-Day War, Dayan became a charismatic icon. He was at the pinnacle of pride, just as Daniel predicted. He made statements such as, "We'll crush them, we'll destroy them. There's no military threat to us." So was Daniel's prediction, the slaughter of Arabs by the thousands, consistent with history? So who were these unfortunate people that were killed out of pride? Could it be the Palestinian people? Could the report of up to 50,000 casualties from the war and its aftermath be correct? Could reports of up to 400 villages destroyed in Palestine just be a deception? Could 250,000 refugees fleeing from the West Bank and Gaza be a figment of our imagination? Certainly, the Palestinian people would qualify as those who paid the price for Moshe Dayan's pride. Daniel also predicted that the pride of this southern king would not last long. The reign of Dayan was indeed short-lived. The pride prevailed for only 6 years. The Battle of Yom Kippur was the third war that Daniel saw in his vision. It started on October 6, 1973, and lasted for 20 days. Daniel predicted a much larger northern Arab army this time around, a huge army fully equipped. It just so happened that over 1 million Arab soldiers attacked Israel, indeed much larger than that fought in the previous two wars. So who was the king of the north leading this huge army in the Battle of Yom Kippur? To harmonize with Daniel's prophecies, the modern-day kings of the north all have to come from the region of the ancient Seleucid Empire. Today, this would be modern-day Iran, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, also parts of western Pakistan and southern Russia. One prominent Arab king, Anwar Sadat of Egypt, did not qualify as the king of the north. Egypt is just not from the area of the old Seleucid Empire. Ironically, Egypt committed the most troops to the war. Looking for other possibilities for this northern king, the other two Arab nations involved were Syria and Iraq. President Hafez al-Assad of Syria had more political clout and higher Arab aspirations, so he was the king of the north in the Battle of Yom Kippur. As you can guess, the king of the south remained Moshe Dayan, as he was still the Minister of Defense. Now, you might ask yourself, who won this war? Daniel gives us no clear indication. He just says a huge army from the north attacks. You might just think that Daniel is wavering a little bit here, but you'd be wrong. The reason Daniel doesn't mention a true winner is that there was no true winner. The UN decided for a ceasefire, resolution number 338. The Egyptian army, however, continued to fight even after the ceasefire, but they had a little problem. Israel responded with a major offensive on its own, completely surrounding the Egyptian Third Army. On the verge of total annihilation, Russia stepped in at that point. Russia threatened a nuclear response. Russia was very upset at America's rescue of Israel in this war. Israel had been on the verge of annihilation earlier in the war until the U.S. stepped in. America resupplied Israel with one of the largest airlifts in the history of modern-day warfare. Ultimately, the ceasefire held due to heavy international pressure with escalating tensions as we were on the verge of World War III.